Welcome to this PAECT Pod short featuring our special guest, Julianne Lowenstein.
That's a good point. Well, so listen, we could have a conversation about this the whole time. And Dom and I, we know Dom and I could talk.
Yes.
We tied our hands behind our back, so we could talk a lot. But I think it's better if we pull some people in who've been through that experience to kind of share about it. And let's hear straight from them tonight. So let's go ahead and welcome some important guests to the pod tonight. Damn, there we are. All right. Okay. Exciting stuff. All right. So on my screen, I'll just introduce from, I can't break the ladies first. Sorry, Mike. You're first on my screen, but I got to call on you last. So I'll go right to left on my screen. So Julianne, please introduce yourself and tell us what your day job is.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julianne Lowenstein, and my day job is I teach French to middle school students.
That just, we should unpack that for a little bit, but the couch is on order. We don't have it just yet. All right. So kicking back over next to her, we got Amy. Introduce yourself and what is your day job?
Hi, I'm Amy Slyman, and I teach academic literacy to 7th graders.
Couch number 2 on the order. All right. Okay. And finally, queuing it up, Mr. Hardisky.
Hi, I'm Mike Hardisky. I teach at Lincoln Environmental Magnet High School, and I teach chemistry and anatomy.
All right. Not in the middle school setting, not as much unpacking in the couch needed, but still in and of it's right. So, all right. So we'll kick off with Julianne, just because you were an attendee. I'm looking there. I don't have my notes. So KTI Star 22.
Yes.
And you immediately turned around and applied for lead learner. Why?
So it's actually something I didn't think about doing. At first, I saw it on the screen, and I thought, this would be cool to apply to be back, just because I had such a great experience as a star myself. And I remember walking out and just thinking, wow, these people understand me. They get me. I had never felt like I was part of something so much. And so I had taken a picture of the lead learner application. I had it in the back of my head. And then the time the applications rolled around, I thought, I don't know if I'm really the person to do this. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I have that much to share. And somebody who I won't name, who may be in this room right now, said to me, you have a lot to share, and kind of yelled at me for saying that I didn't have so much to share. And, I started thinking about it. I was like, all right. And I went home that day and I just knocked out my 3 sessions really quick. And I was like, oh, these are so exciting. I can't wait to share this. And I started realizing, I do all these cool things in my classroom that I think not everybody knows about, or that everybody does know about them already, or that I don't have anything new to share. But I really do have a lot of valuable insight to share with others. And so for me, applying to be a lead learner was definitely out of my comfort zone. And I had a little bit of imposter syndrome going into it. But on the other side now, I see that I was meant to be there and had a great experience.
That's awesome. Not the name drop, but Dom and I did hang out for like almost 2 hours with Coy Bowles, having a little conversation. But in that interview, it was really interesting about how he talked about as a musician, they're 100% when they meet somebody, they immediately go into their what are their roots of music, who have they played with, because that's a form of like identity and knowing who they are and who you're going to be jamming with. And we said like teachers aren't really like that. Like we don't tout our stuff. We don't put our accolades out there because we're just a little bit more, I think, reserved in that fashion. So just you realizing that I think it's such a huge stepping stone. And I think this year from P&C to ISTE to KTI, the way the storytelling and sharing people's stories is huge, because I'll just say it like this. Take no offense, but we're horrible at doing that. I just feel like we just don't do a good job of doing that.
And that was Thursday and Friday. Whenever I was there, that was the message that was coming out. There is no such thing as just a classroom teacher. And that's something that a lot of people take for granted. They don't give themselves enough credit as to what they can contribute to the conversation and to others. And that's something we have to stop taking for granted.
Yeah. So your first experience as a lead learner, what kind of thoughts, surprises, how did it change you? How did it affect you? How did you leave Summit with that?
So I've had some time to reflect about my experience as a lead learner these past few days, and just I think the amount of growth I saw in myself this year versus last year is even more, which is crazy because I remember leaving last year as a star with so many ideas and thinking, wow, this was such a transformative experience. But this year I'm just really been able to reflect on myself as an educator, but also in my life in general, I think, which has been really pretty cool. Just the connections that I've made are awesome. The fact that I'm here on the pod right now isn't something I would normally do. So stepping out of my comfort zone and just doing that over and over again has been really cool, and something that KTI has kind of brought out in me, putting myself out there in front of a bunch of people that I wouldn't normally do that. I know when Dom was talking a little bit about that symbiotic relationship, I thought back to one of my sessions I was going through, and just people in the room were contributing. There was only a small handful of people in there for that session, and I was, I'm not sure how this is going to go, and just going through it, just seeing their excitement about what I was sharing, and then the ideas they were giving me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And so it was just that idea that everybody was contributing and sparking those ideas. I think somebody said the one night, KTI is that yes and moment. And so I often have those crazy outlandish ideas that I want to do in my classroom. And then my coworkers are like, okay, but how can we make that happen? But instead KTI is, okay, cool, let's add this to that. And so I think that's the really neat thing that I got out of KTI as well, is just having those passionate people who are there to support me in my crazy endeavors.
No, very good. I think it too. It's kind of neat. Not only as a lead learner, you're giving of yourself and sharing the different things, but there's still moments where you get to sit back and absorb and still take some things in, so that's really cool. You can tell the excitement.
I also think one of the really neat things for me this year was just seeing the stars grow and seeing the impact that I was making on them, and seeing certain things that I said or taught them or showed them, and then them running with it and doing something was a really neat experience for me to just see that growth, because I think often, middle schoolers don't always show you their appreciation for your teaching. Once in a while I have some who really, are very mature and tell me how much I meant to them or what they got out of my lesson or, the year with me. But I think the neat thing was at KTI seeing those stars grow, and you could really see it because adults, teachers, they're used to that, and they were willing to share their growth as they went through, and you could see it.
Excellent. Great stuff. Love the excitement. So now I'm we're over an hour already. Our banter only goes on for so long until it wears itself out, So what an awesome night. We still have another night, August 15th, to talk a little bit more KTI, but amazing stuff discussed tonight. So I truly appreciate everybody being here. And, it's just always important for us to say PACT.
We are
the voice of EdTech and PA.
And beyond.
Let's thank our sponsors. PACT would like to thank our corporate council sponsors. We'd like to thank EduSpire for being our venture sponsor. Check the next step. Thank you so much for ClassLink for sponsoring PACT. More time learning, less time logged in. And Go Guardian, proud sponsor of PACT. And finally, thank you to Howard Technology Solutions for being our corporate council sponsor. We'd like to